Imagine waking up one morning and the rain is still falling. You look outside your small shelter, hoping to see sunlight, but there is only darkness. The sky has become a gray ceiling that never opens. Days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. The rivers have swallowed the land. The animals have disappeared. The plants that once provided food are rotting beneath the endless water. For modern humans, rain is an inconvenience. But for ancient humans, endless rain was a battle against extinction. Thousands of years ago, before cities, medicine, and modern technology existed, humans faced climate disasters that tested the limits of survival. And when nature pushed them to the edge, they were forced to make impossible choices. Choices that reveal some of the darkest and most desperate moments in human survival history. Long before farming and permanent settlements, early humans lived as hunters and gatherers. Their survival depended completely on nature. A sunny day meant food. A successful hunt meant life. A dry shelter meant protection. But when extreme rainfall arrived, everything changed. The places where humans once hunted became dangerous swamps. Fire, one of humanity's greatest tools, became almost impossible to maintain. Wet would refuse to burn. Cold nights became deadly. Small injuries became life-threatening because bacteria spread quickly in damp environments. The rain did not simply make life uncomfortable. It destroyed the entire system humans depended on. The animals migrated. Plants stopped producing food. And hunger slowly entered the camps. When normal food disappeared, ancient humans had to become experts at survival. They searched for roots hidden beneath the wet soil. They collected insects from tree bark. They hunted smaller animals because large prey became harder to find. Nothing was wasted. Bones were cracked open for the last pieces of marrow. Animal skins became blankets. Every part of a hunted animal became valuable. But as the rain continued, even these resources became scarce. A starving group of humans faced one terrifying question. How far would you go to survive? Because survival does not always create heroes. Sometimes it creates desperation. Throughout history, extreme famine has pushed some human societies into unimaginable situations. Archaeological evidence from different periods shows that during severe starvation events, some communities experienced desperate practices, including consuming human remains. This was not normal behavior. It was not a tradition. It was a final response to extreme conditions where people believed there were no other choices. For ancient humans trapped by endless rain and disappearing resources, hunger was not just a physical enemy. It was a psychological battle. The instinct to survive could become stronger than fear, tradition, and even ancient taboos. The line between civilization and desperation became dangerously thin. Rain brought another deadly enemy: floods. Early humans had to become engineers before they even had cities. They built shelters on higher ground. They used branches, animal skins, and mud to create barriers. Some groups moved into caves. Others followed animals towards safer territories. Migration became their only option. But moving during endless rain was dangerous. Children struggled through the mud. The elderly became weaker. Predators followed desperate animals. Every journey carried the possibility of death. Yet humans continued moving, because stopping meant disappearing. During endless storms, fire became more valuable than gold. A single flame could mean the difference between life and death. Fire provided warmth, protection from predators, a way to cook food, a reason for humans to gather together. Some groups carried burning embers carefully for days, protecting them from wind and rain. The person responsible for keeping the fire alive held one of the most important jobs in an entire group, because if the flame died, the struggle became much harder. The endless rain changed human behavior. Survival demanded sacrifices. Weakness became dangerous. Resources became more important than comfort. Some groups may have abandoned areas that could no longer support life. Some individuals may have been left behind during migrations. The harsh reality is that ancient humans were not living in a world where everyone could always be saved. Nature forced impossible decisions. Every choice had consequences. The people who survived were not always the strongest. They were the ones who adapted. After months or years of struggle, eventually, the clouds began to break. The rivers returned to their paths. The forest began to recover, and the humans who survived stepped into a changed world. They carried knowledge. They learned where to build shelters. They learned how to preserve food. They learned how to cooperate during disasters. The endless rains had nearly destroyed them, but they also shaped the future of humanity. The darkest moments of human history reveal something uncomfortable. Ancient humans were not superheroes. They were ordinary beings facing extraordinary challenges. They felt fear. They felt hunger. They made painful decisions. But above everything else, they survived. Every city, every invention, every civilization that exists today came from ancestors who endured storms, famine, darkness, and unimaginable struggles. The next time you hear rain falling outside your window, remember, for ancient humans, rain was not just weather. Sometimes it was a fight for survival.